I want you to imagine a video of a billiard table. One ball is rolling across the green felt. It hits another ball. Click. The second ball rolls away. Now, I want you to rewind that video and play it backward. What does it look like? It looks exactly the same. One ball rolls backward, hits the other ball, and stops. In physics, we call this time symmetry. Every fundamental equation we have, Isaac Newton's laws of motion, Albert Einstein's relativity, even the strange rules of quantum mechanics, they all work perfectly in reverse. To the math of the universe, there is no difference between the past and the future. The gears of reality can turn clockwise or counterclockwise without breaking a single rule. But you and I know that's a lie. If I film myself dropping a glass of water on the floor, it shatters into 100 pieces. If I play that video backward, you immediately know it's a trick. Shards of glass do not randomly leap off the floor, perfectly fused together, and land in my hand. But why? If the laws of physics work in reverse, why doesn't the glass unshatter? Why do you remember yesterday but not tomorrow? Why do your cells decay? Why do we die? Welcome to the most depressing, terrifying, and inescapable rule in all of science. Today we are looking at Feynman Lectures Vol I, Chapter 46, and we are going to explore entropy and the arrow of time. Richard Feynman begins by asking us to look very, very closely at that shattered glass on the floor. When the glass hits the ground, the kinetic energy of the fall doesn't vanish. It turns into sound, and it turns into heat. If you measured the shards of glass on the floor, they would be slightly warmer than they were in your hand. The atoms in the glass and the atoms in the floorboards are jiggling around very fast. Now Feynman asks a dangerous question. Is it physically possible for the glass to reassemble itself? The answer is yes. It does not violate the laws of physics. For the glass to unshatter, all that needs to happen is for the trillions of atoms in the floorboards to accidentally bump into the shards of glass in the exact same direction at the exact same time. If the thermal jiggling of the floor randomly synchronized, it would act like a synchronized trampoline, launching the pieces of glass upward. The pieces would hit each other, the atomic bonds would snap back into place, and the glass would land in your hand. It is 100% allowed by physics. So why doesn't it happen? Statistics. Imagine a deck of cards, brand new, out of the box. Spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds, perfectly ordered. You shuffle the deck once, it gets a little mixed up. You shuffle it 10 times, it is completely randomized. Now keep shuffling. Can you shuffle the deck back into perfect order? Yes, it is possible. But the odds are 1 in an unpronounceable number. There is only one way for the deck to be perfectly ordered. But there are $8 times 10 to the $67 ways for it to be messy. This is the second law of thermodynamics. It states that the universe will always move from a state of order to a state of disorder. We call this disorder entropy. Feynman says that the arrow of time, the reason time feels like it flows forward, is simply the fact that there are more ways for things to be messy than for things to be neat. When you drop the glass, it goes from one highly ordered state, a cup, to a highly disordered state, a million shards and random heat. The universe is not pulling you forward through time. You are just surfing a wave of increasing messiness. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. This isn't just poetry. It is the inescapable mathematical reality of our cosmos. The universe is a casino, and entropy is the house, and the house always wins. Because of this, every action you take costs something. Every time you move your arm, you burn glucose, and you radiate heat into the room. You have increased the entropy of the universe. Every time a star burns hydrogen into helium, it radiates light and heat out into the cold void of space. It increases the entropy of the universe. You cannot undo it. You cannot put the heat back into the star, just like you cannot unstir milk out of your coffee. Once the order is lost, it is lost forever. This leads to the ultimate bleak conclusion of cosmology, the heat death of the universe. Right now, the universe is incredibly interesting. We have hot stars and cold planets. We have ordered structures like galaxies and trees and human brains. But every second of every day, the stars are burning out. The heat is spreading. The deck of cards is being shuffled. Trillions of years from now, the last star will die. The black holes will evaporate. All the energy in the universe will be perfectly evenly distributed as a thin soup of microscopic heat. There will be no hot spots. There will be no cold spots. Just a uniform, messy, lukewarm fog. And when that happens, time will stop. Because if everything is perfectly mixed, nothing can happen. If nothing can happen, there is no difference between the past and the future. The arrow of time will vanish. The universe will be a static, dead photograph. Feynman taught us many beautiful, uplifting things about nature, but he never sugarcoated the truth. The second law of thermodynamics is the ultimate grim reaper. But there is a silver lining. We are not at the heat death yet. We exist in the golden age of the cosmos. We exist in the brief, beautiful window where the deck of cards is still being shuffled, where there is still enough order in the universe to form stars, to form oceans, to form eyes that can look up at the night sky and wonder. So, the next time you drop a glass and it shatters on the floor, don't just get annoyed. Look at the pieces. You are watching the arrow of time in action. You are watching the fundamental mechanism that drives the entire universe forward. You are watching the cost of being alive.